Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, Shows World.
Welcome to Shows World, gamers. Josh here, and as this week draws to a close, I wanted to take a moment to look at this week's biggest news stories, gaming announcements, and this week's new video game releases. If this is your first time on the channel, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and join in on the fun. Alright gamers, let's kick off this week in review with a few news stories. Now, in a super unexpected move during Final Fantasy Fan Fest early last weekend in Las Vegas, something nobody had on their bingo card was new president of Square Enix, Takashi Kiryu, and Yoshi P himself would be shaking hands on stage with head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, to announce that Final Fantasy XIV is coming to Xbox early next year, alongside a huge update and enhancements for the game. Also, that they are working together to bring more and future Final Fantasy projects to Xbox. Now, in the story we have been following with a bit of trepidation since we saw the first teaser, the live-action Twisted Metal series released its full 10-episode first season onto the Peacock streaming service, and in a bit of a surprise, it's actually a lot of fun. I enjoyed the series, binging it in its full over the weekend. If you like the dark, ultra-violent style of movies like Deadpool, Kick-Ass, and Zombieland, I think you will like this. That being said, it is not for the younger gamers out there. Now, I did do a video on this, and I will link that video at the end of this one, so definitely check it out if you're interested in watching the series. Now, in a reported leak that may actually have more merit than we originally thought, a remake of the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion being done by Virtuos Games in Unreal Engine 5 was apparently leaked by an ex-employee of the company. Other than a Reddit post, there wasn't any info, but the original post has been removed. No word of if it was removed by Bethesda or Virtuos at this time, but the story is gaining traction with an expected release in 2024 or early 2025. So if it is real, maybe we will get info at Gamescom later this month. Now, in another story I don't think anybody expected, EA has officially announced that Jedi Survivor, the hit sequel to the Jedi Fallen Order, released earlier this year on the PS5, PC, and Xbox Series systems, will actually have a version of the game released on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and that they are currently in the works, and EA is committed to bringing the game to those consoles. Now, I really enjoyed Jedi Survivor, but even on the new consoles, the game had some performance problems. So I'm not too confident on how well the game is going to run on the last-gen hardware. Next up, let's take a look at some gaming announcements. Now, Side Bullet was announced for the PlayStation 5. The game is a free-to-play, side-scrolling take on the Battle Royale shooter. Set in an urban concrete jungle, players will be pitted against both each other and strange monsters. Choose a fighter from one of 8 different cartels, including psychos, special agents, prisoners, and much more. The game is scheduled to release later this summer. Now, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2 was announced this week. The sequel to the surprise hit fighting game is returning with new characters, new modes, an all-new campaign, and much more. The game is expected to release by the end of the year, with rumors of a late October release on the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, PC, Xbox One, and Xbox Series systems. Now, Minecraft announced, and then Shadow dropped brand new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles DLC this week that looks really good. The DLC includes a whopping 16 character skins, 4 of them based on the all-new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie Mutant Mayhem. In addition, there are also 14 Turtles-themed character creator items available in the dressing room, as well as 9 challenging boss battles. Also, to stick with the Ninja Turtles crossover theme, the realistic skateboarding simulation style game Session Skate Sim, who totes the moniker Made by Skaters for Skaters, and uses a dual stick board control to faithfully produce your feet on the board, giving you an ultra realistic experience, also added some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem DLC also. Now, Virgo vs. the Zodiac is an indie role-playing game that is said to be inspired by Nintendo's Mario and Luigi role-playing games. It received an announcement trailer this week as the previously PC-released game is finally coming to consoles. The game is scheduled to release on August 23rd for the Nintendo Switch, the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5, the Xbox One, as well as Xbox Series systems. Alright gamers, let's finish up with a few new game releases. Now the biggest release this week was definitely the release of Boulders Gate 3. The game has been playable as a beta for years, but this week we finally got the official full release of the game on PC. Unfortunately, we will have to wait a few more weeks for the console releases. Now, that console release is going to be on the PS5. It does sound like Xbox gamers are going to have to wait quite a while, as it seems like they're having problems getting the game to run correctly on the Xbox Series S. Now, F1 Manager 2023 is the official racing management simulation game of the 2023 Formula 1, Formula 2, and Formula 3 championships. In the game, you will assume the role of an F1 team principal responsible for recruitment, facility management, plus car research and development. You're also tasked with overseeing the team's race day performance, making incisive strategy calls that can shape your team's season. The game is available on the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, PC, Xbox One, and Xbox Series systems. Now, Tiny Thor is a 2D action platformer with a graphic style reminiscent of the 16-bit era. In the game, you play as a young version of Thor, and gameplay is centered around using Mjolnir not just to attack enemies with mighty swings, but you can use the environment to do bouncy trick shots to defeat enemies or solve physics-based puzzles, use it to reach new areas, and so much more as you power up this awesome mythological weapon as you travel through the realms of Asgard. The game is available on the PC and the Nintendo Switch. Now, Venba is a narrative cooking video game developed and published by Vizia Games. The game released this week on the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, PC, Xbox One, and Xbox Series systems, including a day one release on Game Pass. In the game, you play as Venba, an Indian mother who left India to move to Canada. The game starts in the 1980s and takes place over the course of several years. Adore is an action creature collecting game where you build your team of unique creatures and go on a journey to resurrect the god of the creatures. You play as a young adventurer named Luca in this beautifully crafted world, available now on the Nintendo Switch, the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5, the Xbox One, and Xbox Series systems. Alright gamers, that concludes this week in review for the week ending on August 4th. The week started with the live-action Twisted Metal series releasing on Peacock to much higher than expected reviews. Then, we got more speculation that the next Nintendo console will be on its way next year, as dev kits are already in the hands of key studios as we speak. And the week ended with a bit of an update from the previous week, as we got word that the indie Kickstarted game Ratatan easily shot past its goal, so we can look forward to that game coming at some point. But let me know anything we may have missed in the comments, and thanks for joining us today, gamers. Shows World out.